Al Wilson here. Look, imagine sinking your teeth into a tender, slow-cooked beef birria taco. The flavors dancing on your taste buds like a fiesta in your mouth. The succulent, perfectly seasoned shredded beef. Listen, steeped in a rich aroma chili broth, encased in a warm tortilla. Look, y'all, each bite offers a symphony of textures and taste. Savory, slightly spicy, slightly with some warmth. And done on the smoker, you get hints of smokiness. Topped with cilantro, diced onions, a squeeze of zesty lime. It's like a flavor explosion that transcends ordinary tacos by far. Look, making these birria tacos, it's not just a meal. Look, it's like it transports you into the vibrant streets of Mexico where food is a celebration of life, love, and the joy of shared moments. Oh yeah, we've got our skillet going over some medium-high heat. What we're going to do now is we've got our ancho and guajillo peppers. We've got the stems removed, got the seeds removed out of this thing. And what we're going to do is we want to get these and just kind of lay them as flat as we can. And we want to toast them for about 15 seconds aside. That's it, not a long time. We just want to kind of get them a little charred, get them heated up. I'm going to flip these, and that really kind of brings out the flavor. And after this, we're going to dump them in some water. So after they become fragrant, not a long time, we're going to take them. We've got our hot water here. We're going to get them in there. And this is going to really soften them up. And that's what we want to do, get them nice and softened. So we want to let them sit in this water for about 15-20 minutes. And if they start floating, just take these and, push them down the bottom. That's simple. Our ancho peppers and our guajillo peppers, nice and hydrated now. I'm going to get them drained out of this. I'm going to put them in our blender. This is where things get super simple, y'all. I don't want to just ground or chop these up. I'm going to blend this stuff up, make a nice paste out of it. So we're going to start with our peppers. Get all the excess moisture out of it if we can. Leave a little bit in there. It goes with it. We can live with that. Next thing we're going to add in our onion. You go white, yellow, red, whichever one you prefer. Nice and chopped. Nice and slightly chopped, whichever one works for you, because it's going to go in the blender. I'd highly recommend not shoving the whole onion in there without some kind of perforation in it. Next up, our garlic. So that was like 1 onion, and this is 4 cloves of minced garlic. Get that in there. Next up is 1 teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of coriander, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and then we've got 3/4 teaspoon of salt and 3/4 teaspoon of pepper. Next up, you want to blend this thing up here. You can get it going. Got a nice paste, y'all. It's really thick. What we're going to do now is we're going to add in, and you should smell these aromas. They are fire. Listen, we're going to add in our 3 cups of beef broth into this mixture. We're going to blend it some more. Got our 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Skillet's nice and hot. We'll get this moved all around. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take our chuck roast we've got sliced into big chunks. We're going to get it here and we're going to sear it around on all sides. Now this really brings out the flavor of the meat, and it's very, very vital to do this recipe. So the reason we got it in chunks, you don't have to do it in chunks. You can put the whole thing in there and do it, but it really brings out more of the flavor if you do it like this. And that's what we're shooting for. Lots of flavor. Sauce is going to do one thing. Doing it like this and searing it brings out just that charring. Brings out a completely different flavor if you don't do it, and if you just, because slicing it up gets you that inside section as well. And trust me, it's worth it. I've got it seared. Now we're going to try and put it in our crock pot. I'm gonna cook this thing over slow and low. The meat's gonna just fall apart, y'all. Now it's time to add in our chili mixture, all our seasonings, our beef broth, all of it. Just gonna pour it right on top of the meat. Get it all covered. Make sure it's covered, nice and submerged. I'm gonna add in 2 bay leaves. Look, y'all know I'm all about simple. It's about as simple as it gets. I'm gonna get those bay leaves put in there. Next up, cooking this thing on slow, 6 to 8 hours, depending on what your time schedule is. I'm going with 8, y'all. See you in about 8 hours. Well, it's been 8 hours, so now what we're gonna do is pull out our chunks. All right, now we're gonna collect a cup of our juice. We got here. Gonna get this thing filled up, and then we're going to keep this off to reserve and put it in a bowl for use for later. Got a liquid reserve sitting off to the side. Now it's just gonna come time to shred these chunks. It's gonna be really simple. All you need is like 2 forks, and as you see, it just completely falls apart into nothing. So we're just gonna keep shredding it. Got this all shredded. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna get this back into our slow cooker, get it simmered, and let this absorb all those juices, absorb all those flavors. It really kicks it up a big notch, y'all. So we're gonna put this back in there and let it go for 30 minutes. Hey, y'all, we've got our oil in our skillet. It's nice and hot. We got our homemade flour, gluten-free tortillas. You can use corn, you can use store-bought, use whatever ones you want to, y'all. The main thing is we want to get this nice and covered on both sides. And get that flavoring in there. Then we're going to add, just like this, into our skillet. We want to get both sides seared, so it doesn't take very long. Real quick process. We'll get it nice and warmed up. A little char on there from the sauce. So we're going to taste when we flip this thing over. And when it hits the inside of your mouth, it's going to be awesome, y'all. Now we're going to flip it over. So that's what we're looking at. At this point, what we're going to do, we're going to get some cheese. We're going to get it across 1/2 of this, all right? 1/2 only. Get that cheese nice and covered, moved across there. We're going to take our meat. It's nice and shredded. We want to retain some of this sauce. We don't want to have a whole bunch of sauce in there. Kind of get it moved around in there. And this is what we're looking at right now, y'all. Going to come across it top side with some onions, some red onions. We're going to hit it with some chopped cilantro. And guess what else we're going to hit it with, y'all? More cheese, and some more cheese. Now, key part here, we're going to take it, we're going to flip this over to cover it up, seal it in. Let that go for just a bit. You hear that nice sizzle? That's what we're looking at. And now we're going to flip it over. Get this other side sealed up. Look, it's just that easy, y'all. Just that easy. And here's what we're looking at. Woo-wee. Smells of this thing. Can't wait to taste this and eat it again. All right, y'all, I'm going to get cracking on the rest of these. I'll see you in a little bit. Y'all, look, whether you're gathered with friends and family, enjoying a quiet evening at home, these tacos are a tantalizing journey literally to the heart of Mexican cuisine. Reminds me so much of West Texas. And you really don't want to miss it. And look, y'all, if you like this, you're going to love a series of cookbooks I have. Not only tantalize your taste buds, but also make a difference in the world. All proceeds received from the sale of Volume 4 is coming out, which this is in. Cajun Eats and Worldly Treats will be donated to Canines for Warriors. That's caninesforwarriors.org. Determined to end veteran suicide, Canines for Warriors provides highly trained service dogs to military veterans suffering from PTSD and trauma, with the majority of the dogs they work with being rescues. Look, this is a very, very, very innovative program that allows their team to build an unwavering bond that helps facilitate veterans' collective healing and recovery. Look, you're helping veterans, you're helping dogs. Look, I know everybody can get behind those two things now. So feel free to donate directly to them, directly at caninesforwarriors.org. The link is in the description below, as is this recipe. And this Spanish rice, that's to die for too, y'all. Look, and make a difference in a veteran's life. Click on that link, buy a cookbook, whichever one you want to do. Just help them out. Look, and if you do that, I'll give you a ticket to a parallel universe, and I'll genuinely like you. Once again, the recipe is in the description below. There's also links. Hit me up at Cookin with Wilson, that's without the G, because I'm country like that, at Gmail, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and let me know what you think about today's meal. Well, I'd love to hear from you. And keep this one thing in mind, y'all. Look, if you're wondering how to believe in things you've never seen before, like dreams, ideas, desires, just remember, those things are actually real. I mean, just like radio waves and Wi-Fi. Just because you can't see them doesn't make them less real. Somebody tell me I'm wrong.